Welcome back to another episode of It's in the Details. As always, remember to hit the buttons, tell a friend to tell a friend if you're enjoying the show. There are some things, Okay, so we'll start here. I'm going to get into some Canadian content. I feel like there's some Canadian things that I love and watch that I haven't been talking to the people about, okay? Just first of all, a shout out. Shout out to Schitt's Creek, which I talked about a couple times. Shout out to Corner Gas. I'm a big-time Corner Gas fan. I've just been seeing some reruns lately. It's on top of mind. I wanted to let the people know. Just watch those Corner Gas people if you've never watched them. It's always a rerun around or something. Go find some Corner Gas. It's hilarious. But what I really want to talk to you about today, Run the Burbs. Run the Burbs, okay? Run the Burbs. I don't know how many of you found Kim's Convenience. I found it just during the pandemic, right before the last season came out. And we've heard some news about what may or may not have been going on behind the scenes of Kim's Convenience. It doesn't sound like it's all good. In fact, it sounds like a lot of it's bad. But I'm not a journalist here breaking stories for you, okay? Kim's Convenience was a fun ride. It was fun to watch. And it ended abruptly, okay? They've given 2 spinoffs. One to Kimchi, one of the characters on the show, Andrew Fung. That's Run the Burbs. The other one went to Nicole Power. I haven't gotten to that one yet. I need to because I enjoyed her on Kim's Convenience as well. But Andrew Fung's Run the Burbs is now 3 episodes old. And it's a lot of fun. It's like when I described doing this show where I was like, I just want whoever I talk to have fun. Just leave it thinking that was fun. And whoever's watching the show thinking that was fun. That was a fun 20 minutes, an hour, whatever the episode length was. That was fun. Like, I really enjoyed myself. Was it the best thing I've ever seen? Not necessarily. That's not what it needs to be. But you had a good time and you wanted to come back. You know what I'm saying? Run the Burbs is that. Okay? It's not the best show I've ever seen. It's not the funniest show I've ever seen. It's not the most sentimental show I've ever seen. It's not the most beautiful. None of that stuff. But you know what it is? It's fun, dog. It is fun. Okay, I just rewatched the first episode. Just rewatched it. I think the big punch for the first episode is they've got Cardinal Official in it. Cardi, I told the people a few months ago now, I think, excuse me, I went to see Chappelle live at ACC, and Cardi was one of the guests. And I enjoyed Cardi's music. I enjoyed the performance, but what I really enjoyed was Cardi just on the mic talking to the people, creating a party atmosphere, telling jokes, and like, he was just really funny. Now I come to watch him on Run the Burbs. He doesn't have a big part, but he's in it. He's in it. He's a guest star. He's in it. Oh my God. Cardi is so funny in this episode. They wrote him such an interesting character, like what a rapper becomes when the rapping stops, when he becomes a dad and he moves to the suburbs. Just like that little character they've given him is hilarious. But listening to him talk about how he's not rapping anymore, he's working on new creative pursuits and whatnot, and all the while he's telling you he doesn't rap anymore. He is rhyming every sentence. Every sentence he's telling his neighbors he's no longer a rapper. He's rhyming the whole time. It's so funny. Andrew Fung, I found out about him from Kim's Convenience. I'm sure he's done a bunch of stuff before that, but I really enjoyed him on Kim's Convenience. He wasn't as silly as he is in this show. In this show, Run the Burbs is like a Kim's Convenience meets Cosby Show set in 2022 in a suburb, and they don't just live in this suburb. The whole suburb is a part of the show. All the neighbors are a part of the show. There's a real communal atmosphere that's going on in this show. And there's some characters that are on their side, if you will, and there's some characters that aren't, right? It's 3 episodes in. But all of it is fun. It's so just fun. And to take it even a little bit further, I caught myself, this is another time I caught myself watching a show and I'm just smiling. Just smiling. Like, there's some laughs and whatnot, but when the show, they're just driving story, I am just smiling. A big ass dumb smile on my face because the show was just so much fun. And I lost track of it for a couple weeks. I had to binge a couple recently. And these 2 episodes were hilarious as well. One little piece I want to leave with you is they got Andrew Fung's character and his neighbor best friend. And these two short, fluffy gentlemen, I feel like I could say that, being a little fluffy myself. You know what I'm saying? These 2 short, fluffy gentlemen are out here in the street trying to play some basketball on a rim they've clearly got lowered 7 feet, maybe, maybe 8 feet. I'll give them a little, maybe 8-foot rim, right? And these guys can't touch the mesh. They can't get the ball in the basket. And I'm sure it's a gag. It's a great gag. It really tickled me. But the visuals are what the people need to see. You need to see these 2 guys playing basketball in the street oh so poorly. It's just so much fun. The other piece of both this and Kim's Convenience that I really enjoyed is I feel like I know all of these people, right? I feel like I know all of these people. And I might have seen a couple of them on the street, to be perfectly honest. It's a Canadian show. I would say it's a Toronto-based show, I believe. They never mention it. But it feels like it's a suburb outside of Toronto, not too far. And I feel like I know all of these people. I feel like I know the stores they're going into. I feel like I know these neighborhoods. And none of them are explicit, but it just feels familiar. And for me, that adds to the fun of the whole ordeal. It's just really good. And they add in, like, as you meet new characters, new neighbors, new people joining the community, more family members, more people in the stores and restaurants that they frequent. These people are all good. They're all fun. They're all funny. They're good actors and actresses. It's just I can't wait to see where this show goes. You got to check out Run the Burbs. Just check. I'm sure most of you watching or listening to this are Canadian too. Support the CanCon, man. Support the Canadian content. Because it feels high quality. All right, so this show is slowly turning into a sports podcast. Slow. There's just so many sports on right now that I'm consuming, and I think if you're here, you see the little idiosyncrasies and everything that I find and watch and experience on TV. I'm watching a lot of the Aussie Open right now, folks. A lot. I'm watching hours and hours of tennis. And it's good. It's a good tournament. I'm enjoying the tournament. Once again, Novak Djokovic was deported. He was deported. Digest that. They deported the world #1 tennis player. And I'm not saying that it was right or wrong. Right? I'm not doing that. I'm just saying he was deported. Okay? But anyway, back to the people who showed up and were allowed to play. Great. Some surprises, some upsets, some chalk, like some people going through like they're supposed to. That's it. I'm not really digging into the tournament. What I'm digging into is the fans. Okay? The fans. And from what I gather, most of them are Australian. Australia is taking COVID very seriously. I don't know how many people they're letting into the country to just be spectators at the Australian Open. I doubt many, right? But you see some Canadian flags, you see some Russian flags, you see all the different flags. People are there. But I imagine most of them are Australian. Now, I'm not here to yell at Australian fans, okay? And I'm sure most of you are very well behaved. Everything I've ever heard about Australians, I mean, they're very nice people, and they like to party. These are the things I know, right? I haven't been to Australia myself. But some of y'all can't behave. Either they don't know the etiquette of being a fan at a tennis match, or they like to party too much and they don't care. But the number of people that are yelling and screaming at all the wrong times during the event is obnoxious to me. It's really obnoxious. And you say, hey, Damien, maybe they don't know they're not supposed to be yelling, right? That seems feasible. Maybe they don't know. They showed up. They knew the tournament was happening. They bought some tickets. They wanted to go see an event, right? They wanted to go hang out with some friends and watch some high-level tennis, right? Okay. They did not know. But once they started doing it, the ref gets on the microphone and the ref goes, ladies and gentlemen, please be quiet at X time, right? Multiple times throughout the match. Please be quiet, ladies and gentlemen. Please, all the things, right? And these fools won't stop yelling at the wrong times. I don't get it. And are y'all there by yourselves? You don't have any friends or family that you took to the event? Aren't they embarrassed? Aren't they embarrassed that the fool they brought with them can't stop screaming? And then you got the fools that are screaming for one dude or lady, and then the other people that are screaming for the other dude or lady, and they're trying to get their screaming last. Go, James. Go, Mark. What? Go away. Go away. Go away. And the reason I'm so heated about this is because I can imagine what it would be like. Tennis and golf, those are some sports where, you can't deal with some noise? They love the noise. From all accounts, it sounds like all the players love the noise, right? But the problem is when it's quiet and then some fool makes noise, we got problems, right? And what happens if some fool decides to make noise at the exact moment they shouldn't be, and it costs someone a point, a game, a set, a match, the championship? You know what I'm saying? No one's ever considering these things, it doesn't seem like. Except I was watching a match this week, and some fools could not shut up. They could not shut up. And I don't know if this is because the stands are mostly empty, so they're like, there's barely anybody around. I can make all the noise I want. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But some fools were making some noise during a match. And the umpire called them out. He got on the microphone and said, if you don't want to watch tennis, please leave. Please leave, he said, right? And I've been watching tennis for decades. Years and years and years I've been watching tennis. I've gone to some live tennis. I have never heard an umpire tell someone, if you don't want to be here, leave. He's my favorite umpire now. But that brings me to my next point. Societal etiquette. Just going along with the rules and the things that everybody else is going along with, right? He says to these people, if you don't want to watch tennis, please leave. Okay? Immediately, 2, maybe 3 ushers show up to these 3 guys that were in the stands. And my guess would be that they're telling these fools it's time to go. And these 3 fools said, make me. You know what I mean? And I don't know about y'all. I've been to some live events. The ushers aren't exactly all built to get someone to leave when they want them to leave. You know, an usher is security, but they also got security. So an usher isn't really security. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, the usher can show up and act like security, but the fools need to respect that the usher is acting like security. And that doesn't always happen. And that brings about some very interesting things. If you're an usher and the match is going on, because the match was going on, the players were on the court ready to play the next point, and you tell some people they got to leave and they don't leave, what do you do next? Because we're all watching, right? We're all seeing it. And now your authority is being challenged in front of everyone. And what do? I can speak from personal experience. When I was coaching, right? I was coaching teenagers, coached older too, but I was coaching some teenagers, and you make decisions and you tell the teenagers what you'd like them to do. But you hear what I said? What I would like them to do. I can't make these teenagers do anything. Like, I could tell them to come in or come out of games, whatever it is, you should do this, you should do that. But if they decided that they did not want to do that, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? There's only so many powers I have, right? And the same goes for these ushers. So these three fools said, "No, we ain't leaving." And they won. They won. They got to stay for 5 minutes. They got to stay for 5 minutes because by the time that game ended, some people who weren't ushers showed up. And the last thing I know about Australia is everything in Australia is trying to kill you. What did the non-ushers show up with to get those men up out them seats that quickly? I don't want to find out. Y'all know I love some Jeopardy, right? I love some Jeopardy. We're not digging into Jeopardy too deep today. But I record my Jeopardy episodes. I PVR them, and then I get to them when I have the time. I don't watch live. I'm not a big commercial watcher, so I speed through that. And as you know, my lady Amy Schneider is up in the high 30s now. She's up in the I think the last episode I saw, she had 39 wins or something like that. But games, I think it was 35 and 38. I turn on my recorded Jeopardy episode, and it's preempted. Preempted by what? Days early pre-game talk about the Buffalo Bills playoff game. Days early. We're not talking the Bills are playing on Saturday and they preempted Jeopardy on Friday. We're talking the Bills play next week. And they preempted my Jeopardy episode with some ragtag pregame for the Bills. What? Why? Jeopardy? Why would you step in on Jeopardy? How rude. You got me and millions of 75-year-olds that want to know what's happening with Amy Schneider. Okay? It's rude. It's very rude. And they did it not once, but twice. 2 times. Can you imagine how I would be if Amy got knocked off in one of those episodes where you preempted the episode to talk about the Buffalo Bills playing a game in 6 days? Furious. You know what it was like? You know when you go to the grocery store, right? You go to the grocery store, you pick up some apples. You're like, I'm an apple fan. I'm not crazy about apples, but I like an apple every now and again, right? And you go to the grocery store, you pick up some apples, you put some apples in a bag, you check them, see for bruises and whatnot, right? And you get them home. 3-4 days later, you pick out an apple, you start peeling off the stickers, and under one of the stickers, you find a big ass bruise or a gash, just, you didn't feel it. You didn't feel it when you were picking them out, and you see this gash. And you go, I was about to enjoy this delicious apple, and then someone ruined it. That's what y'all did with your Bills coverage. You ruined my plans to enjoy Amy busting ass on Jeopardy another day. And you know what you got for that? You know what happened to you because you did that? Patrick Mahomes happened to you. That's what you get. That's what you get. Any Bills fans, I apologize. This is not about you. This is about the people who preempted Jeopardy to run some garbage pregame for the Bills days in advance. That's what you get. Karma. This color doesn't look good on me. All this envy and anger. But that's what you get. The Bills got what they got, and the people who put stickers on bruises on apples should get what they should get. Anyway. Thank you for joining me on another episode of It's in the Details. As always, please remember to tell a friend, hit them buttons, review, comment, do all the things. We'll see you in a week, y'all. Take care. Peace.